We have just entered 2024, and the tension on the Korean Peninsula shows no signs of improvement. The South Korean Joint Staff recently released news that the North Korean Army fired more than 200 artillery shells in the so-called Northwestern Islands early in the morning. In response, South Korea issued evacuation orders from Yeonpyeong Island to Baengnyeong Island. Residents on Baengnyeong Island were even asked to enter shelters on the spot. Not only that, passenger ships departing from Incheon to Yeonpyeong Island have also been temporarily suspended. In response to the actions of the North Korean Army, the South Korean Army also responded tit for tat and began performing shooting at sea in the afternoon. The smell of gunpowder smoke that permeates the sea today is hard not to remind people of the Yeonpyeong Island artillery battle in 2010. However, judging from the current situation, North and South Korea have no intention of going to war. According to the South Korean military, the North Korean artillery shells landed in the maritime buffer zone north of the northern limit line and did not cause damage to civilians or military assets. South Korea currently does not describe the shelling as a purposeful attack, only a provocative military exercise. North Korea may have been preparing for this shelling of the waters around Yeonpyeong Island for some time. The main reason is that without the constraints of the September 19 military agreement, North Korea can show strength in more directions. This agreement is currently in name only. In November last year, South Korea announced that it would suspend some provisions of the September 19 agreement and restart its investigation of North Korea. North Korea's Ministry of National Defense immediately issued a statement, accusing the South Korean government of engaging in provocative conspiracy activities that resulted in the agreement becoming a waste of paper. Therefore, North Korea will no longer be bound by the September 19 military agreement, will immediately resume all military measures suspended due to the agreement, and will strengthen military deployment near the military demarcation line. Immediately afterwards, North Korean soldiers patrolling near Panmunjom also began to be equipped with pistols, and previously dismantled outposts were rebuilt. The leader of North Korea directly announced that the relationship between North and South Korea is no longer a homogeneous relationship, but a completely hostile relationship. In his New Year's address, South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol continued his tough tone on the peninsula issue, claiming that the North Korean threat would be blocked from the source through the U.S.-South Korea alliance mechanism. Since neither side intends to take a step back, the current tense situation in the waters of Yeonpyeong Island is natural. The September 19 military agreement was signed with North Korea when Moon Jae-in was in power. But after Yoon Suk-yeol came to power, the political basis of the agreement no longer existed. In the past year of 2023, relations between North and South Korea have declined rapidly. The defense minister appointed by Yoon Suk-yeol is an out-and-out hardliner, and has long been a clear-cut opponent of the September 19 military agreement. Because of the existence of this military agreement, it is difficult for South Korea to strengthen the U.S.-South Korea military alliance. For the Yoon Suk-yeol government, the U.S.-South Korea military alliance and inter-Korean relations may be antagonistic, and there is no best of both worlds solution. If South Korea blindly strengthens its use of force as a deterrent, it will only trigger a more powerful counterattack from North Korea. If North Korea and South Korea continue to face off in such a tough manner, the tense situation will gradually heat up. Under such circumstances, what actions China and the United States will take has become the key to breaking the situation. For China, it is not in China's fundamental interests to allow tensions on the Korean Peninsula to continue to worsen. China is not the main conflicting party, but the United States truly holds the key to resolving this conflict. In other words, if the United States only considers its own strategic interests and ignores regional security when it comes to the peninsula issue, it will only end up with more losses than gains.